can't believe we have to follow our dean. All right, hi, I'm Catherine Sandlund, and this is Justin. We're presenting our experience in Biloxi during a 3.5-week-long design-build course taught by Paul and Wynne of Locus Architecture. I think we can both say that this trip, this class, and Biloxi as a place has changed the way we view our potential to influence community through design. Prior to embarking on this course, I had the impression that the Gulf Coast region was further along in recovery, when in fact what we witnessed was similar to the previous slide. By the time our group arrived to work, the once troubled John Henry Beck Park had come a long way since the storm had destroyed it. It now boasted a new playground and community garden. However, in the Biloxi sun, many of the features were underutilized as there was no place to take a break from the hot Biloxi sun. Our project was to answer that need and construct a pavilion which contributed to the playfulness of the park, responded to the existing improvements, and added to the continued safety of the area. An initial design allowed that structure to be a play space, a resting space, a stage, a piece of art, really open to the user's imagination. In order to incorporate these early schemes into a working plan, we met with councilperson Bill Stallworth to discuss Biloxi's needs. He stressed the psychological effect that the storm had had on the children of Biloxi and how important improvements to the parks were in helping to heal the community. The process of design and labor became contingent on access to supplies and staying within budget. During this time, the breakfast table became our conference room and the swing set became our office as we worked to place orders and find vendors who could deliver in a timely manner. Acquiring materials was very challenging as all of Biloxi was in the process of repair. Throughout the project, we learned the art of backup plans and making do until supplies were delivered.
While the design process was a collaboration, the construction relied upon the knowledge that Paul and Wynne provided. Paul was able to understand exactly what would be required to actually build this design, so he supervised when necessary, but also got involved when needed. Here we are toiling on the formwork for the base platform, and as proof of my last statement, Paul and I screeding the concrete in the lower left image. Wynne jumped in for the second half, and we were a bit worried that after 2 weeks we had nothing built above the concrete platform. We were determined to complete the project within 3 weeks, so we did whatever we needed to, even if it meant working in the dark and using police barricades as temporary supports, as in the lower middle image. Architecture can become an abstraction when sitting at a desk in front of some bumwad or a computer. It was important to all of us to create something meaningful to the community. Incorporating the local Boys and Girls Club into our design quickly provided some perspective and greatly diminished any complaints about sleeping in tents, showering without shelter, and working in tropical conditions. The sweat-soaked shirt of my classmate in the large image is a testament to how hard we all worked, but it also attests to the need for a shade pavilion in John Henry Beck Park. While the project does provide the necessary shelter in a functional way, watching the kids search for their handprints while our shade structure stood serving its simple purpose was a very gratifying moment. 2 weeks into the project, a friendly wager that we would not finish in time was being offered by the long-term volunteers working at the park. That wager was accepted by our group. Here we are sitting proudly upon our field of victory. More importantly, John Henry Beck Park now has a useful, beautiful shelter that brings a piece of the Midwest to the Gulf Coast.
That sweat-soaked student is here tonight. Luckily, he showered.
Hi, I'm Tom Westbrook. We're just keeping going here. I wanted to introduce the group that went down to New Orleans to work on the project. Kyle, Christine, Marley, Beth, Jake, Michael, Allie, Ellen, Rob, Sarah, Muhammad, Mitch, Olm, Jody, and sitting next to us is Greta Gladney, our client.
Okay, so our studio worked in correlation with the Renaissance Project, which is a local nonprofit organization in New Orleans, and they are working to refine and develop the farmers market and community garden infrastructure. We defined 3 concepts and developed them. The first being the green dot, which is our greenhouse to produce seedlings. The second being the orange, which is where a water retention shed would be, and the third being market furniture.
This is a site plan of our proposed greenhouse. We provided 3 growing spaces. The first, a completely open space that took advantage of the natural growing conditions of the climate, and the second is an enclosed space for the winter seasons, and then the third is the site.
Okay, so the existing foundation of the house that was previously there that was devastated in Hurricane Katrina not only defined our envelope, but also helped drastically cut our budget. The roof line and the facade were also designed to engage the community in a positive manner and also educate them about sustainable practices such as rainwater catchment in the gutter system and rain barrels, and also the rain gardens out front.
On the left is a construction detail of the greenhouse, which is a steel pipe frame bolted to a dimensional lumber wall and roof system that's wrapped in a polyfilm. On the right is some diagrams showing how these structural components allow for operable walls that enhance the usability of the greenhouse all year round.
Okay, so this is a plan of the prospective rainwater retention structure, which will be located at the Dunstan Memorial Garden in the lower 9th Ward. The plan is divided into 3 sections. The upper left, which is a 550-gallon water storage tank, which overflows into a water feature and then into the rain garden. It also has a secured storage area for garden tools and area for performance.
This is a diagram showing how the garden structure works. So when the rain falls, it interacts between 2 roof planes, the first being a top fabric and the second being corrugated tin. And then it runs through a filtration system that's powered by a solar panel that's on the tin roof. And then the water is stored for later use in the garden area.
The rainwater retention structure is composed simple in an elegant manner with 4x4 framing and 2x4 framing. Its structural system is modular and can be replicated on multiple sites. The lattice system potentially could support a living green wall to fully shade the area underneath the collection area. This could also serve as a stage, so community gatherings could be there.
This is a plan of our proposed market furniture. It's a collapsible and transportable structure that consists of 2 folding tables made out of plywood and then a ripstop canopy. Both items fold into themselves, making it easy for transport and assembly by only 1 person.
You can see one upstairs.
Yeah, this is a perspective showing the market furniture and how it would support the farmers market at the St. Roch neutral ground site. Each booth would accommodate 1 vendor, and it has the potential to be personalized with signage on the canopy. So the canopy is also adjustable to the sun angle and the weather conditions as to be accommodable for the vendors there. And these, we have a prototype at the reception following the program, so just feel free to ask us questions about it when we get up there. And thank you.